Hello, my name is Paul Wilson. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm a certified instructor of the Transcendental Meditation Technique, and I'm also a certified consciousness advisor. And I'd like to introduce you today to the Consciousness Advisor program. And this program is based on Dr. Tony Nader's groundbreaking book, Consciousness is All There Is, published in 2024. If you haven't read Dr. Nader's book, I highly recommend it. It's a New York Times and USA Today bestseller. So I'd like to show you some slides that will give you a quick overview of this program. Let me share my screen. When we teach transcendental meditation, we're teaching one program to everyone that we hope, regardless of what they're working on in life and want to improve, it will be useful to everyone, kind of a one-size-fits-all program. The Consciousness Advisor program, in contrast, was designed to be individualized guidance for your development and progress, meeting your specific needs. And it's improving specific areas of life important to you. In a few minutes, I'll give you some examples of common areas that we work together to help improve. And it's expert access to programs that complement your TM practice. I'm going to give you some examples of those. And a big focus of this program is habit change support. For instance, being regular with your practice of TM, developing new, say, health habits, or any perhaps not so great habit that you'd like to put to rest. And it's deeper knowledge of what we call the consciousness paradigm, drawing from Dr. Nader's work and that of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And a paradigm is a set of allowable questions and allowable answers. So the consciousness paradigm is diving deep into what is the nature of consciousness? What role does it play in life? How can we take best advantage of it? And this is for casual testers. People just want to try the program a little bit, see how it works, or really deeply committed people who want to dive in, or anybody in between. This is what we call our Wheel of Progress, 14 different ways to improve your life enriched by Maharishi technologies of consciousness. And you might think, technology, consciousness, what do those words have to do with each other? A technology more generally, you might think of it as like cell phones and computers and things, but more generally, a technology is a set of techniques, and a technique is a skillful way to do something that makes it easier to do. Maharishi developed a wide range of technologies of consciousness that use consciousness in various ways, including the TM technique and its advanced techniques, to improve different aspects of your life. When I work with clients, these are some common areas of focus: better health and balance, exploration of individual life purpose, knowing the ideal diet for you based on your individual mind-body type, drawn from the knowledge of Maharishi Ayurveda, making ideal use of time, improving relationships, gentle physiological detoxification, and accelerated growth toward enlightenment, higher states of consciousness. I'm going to give you a quick tour of some of the highlights of this Wheel of Progress. This first spoke, as I call them, is of mind and brain, and this includes restful sleep, the TM technique, and advanced programs of TM. And everything that you learned in your 4-day TM course fit into box number 2 here under mind and brain. So the 4 days of TM, follow-up checking, retreats that you've been on, and so on, all that fits in box number 2. That starts to give you some idea of the scope of everything else included in this big smorgasbord of knowledge. And this includes knowledge of life purpose, how we fit into the flow of life. Perhaps what is the ideal, maybe lifestyle for us or profession, that kind of thing. We have tools to help you explore that. And health and body. This includes Maharishi Ayurveda, which is the science of life, and Maharishi Yoga, which is the science of integration. These are two very closely aligned bodies of knowledge. And Maharishi Ayurveda, which is the world's original and most complete system of prevention and natural medicine, really is such a huge body of knowledge that it pervades really this entire program, the Consciousness Advisor program. And then food, this includes our relationship with food and knowing, again, the right foods for our individual mind body type, and not only how to prepare a meal for yourself or for your family, but also how to prepare yourself for a meal so that you can eat in a very conscious way and take best advantage of these packages of intelligence and consciousness that we call food. And this is important really for anyone who eats. And then there's purification, which includes gentle detoxification, nourishing the body, strengthening the body from Ayurveda. Jumping over to relationships. On the individual level, this includes emotional health. On the societal level, the collective level, this is social health and harmony. You notice that under each of these spokes that there's an arrow pointing inward, and that means that when I start to work with a client doing full paid sessions, we begin with these outer spokes. So I pick some of these areas. We don't necessarily go through this entire wheel working together, but we pick some areas that would be useful to you. And we start out with some of the simpler, easier things to do around the outside. It's really all easy. We start out with things more simple, and then if we work together over time, advance to more advanced levels of these different spokes. And these boxes that are in tan these are programs, aspects of knowledge that I am qualified as a consciousness advisor to share with you directly, usually in the form of what we call knowledge sheets that have been written and reviewed by top experts in our organization, experts on these specific areas. If I work with you over time, we get really advanced, then I might refer you to some of these areas that are in this kind of whitish blue color. These are you working with someone else who has more specific professional qualifications in that area outside of my expertise, people I can refer you to. And if we go into a paid session, a first paid session actually, we'd start out by doing a short interview over Zoom, which gives me a chance to get to know you a little bit better and know what your specific needs and interests are. And then also coming out of that, I will send to you what's called a consciousness journey assessment, which is an online questionnaire that you can use to answer some questions to help you kind of reflect on where you are in your individual consciousness journey. And I also get the answers to those questions, and then I might combine those answers with the answers I get from the interview that I've done with you. And I create a set of slides for you that's called the Consciousness Client Journey Tracker. And this is an example of one of the slides where I will, going into that session, pick some of these spokes, again, that I think would be useful and interesting to you based on what I've learned about you. And you can, when we meet, help me to refine that. Maybe you want to shift focus a little bit. But on this slide, and these are some examples, I will have suggested some current things for you to focus on, maybe some intentions going forward. Again, you can help me refine that. And if that's the only session we do, then you're in a do-it-yourself program from that point. And we will also come up with some ways to measure your progress in those different areas during that first session. If we decide to do later paid sessions, then this gives me a chance really to be an accountability partner for you going forward. And each time we meet, we'll update these slides and I'll give you a new copy of them and give you new knowledge sheets, and we'll have more discussions and take you deeper into the program. And this is finally the financial component. If you just want to test the program a little bit, that's for one session, 1 hour, that's $150. If you'd like to go to Commit, which is 3 monthly sessions, we provide a 10% discount. So for buying that package, that would be $405. If you'd like to do Sustain, which is 10 bi-weekly sessions, something that is recommended in the coaching industry for really deep sustained changes in your life, that is provided at a 20% discount, and that would be